My name is Jennifer Sears. I'm a K-5 math specialist for elementary here at Curriculum and Instruction. I'm so glad to have you here. I have my partner in crime who's on the other end presenting. Her name is
Tammy Gaudette, and I'm also a K-12 math specialist.
And today we're going to work with you on a number sense routine called Esti Mysteries. But before we get to that, we kind of want to get a feel for what you guys have been working on this year with your classrooms. So what is a number sense routine that you have tried this year with your students? And if you haven't tried one, what is one that you really would like to try or that you've seen? And go ahead and plop those in the chat, or feel free to unmute and just let us know. And don't worry if you don't have any, we have plenty of them that we've done, but we're happy to show you those too. Any thoughts on which ones you guys have tried this year? Games, yes. Games is definitely a number sense routine that you could be using. I know we do a lot of number talks, just in general number talks, and some folks were asking what's the difference between like a number talk and let's say an Esti mystery, which has numbers in it that will have a number, component talking about it. So yeah, there's lots of different ones that you could be doing. But number talks games is a good one. And this one we're about to present to you is awesome as well. So take it away. Maybe you'll get some ideas.
All right. So the first activity that we're going to be doing, first one of many. No, I'm just kidding. The activity we're doing today is Esti Mysteries. So for this one, it does have an interactive piece for you and for your kiddos to use in your classroom for the digital piece of it. You can also use it in a hybrid format. Now here we have the first part we're going to be doing is you're going to be given a picture. And you just have to estimate based upon that picture. That's the first thing. Then what we'll be doing is revealing one clue at a time. And as that happens, you might want to have like a sheet of paper, or I'm one of those ones who I like to do a lot of sticky notes. Just have something to write on because you're going to be writing an estimate, and then you'll be crossing it off and thinking of new estimates.
I was going to say a whiteboard. A whiteboard's good for our kiddos too. So if you have a whiteboard, that's also a good thing to have handy.
As we go, after each clue, you'll revise your new estimate. So if it's no longer feasible, you'll cross it out, put a new one. But again, what happens, you notice I said cross it out, like I just did like an X and then move to my new one. We don't want you to erase your thinking. We want you to keep your thinking as we go through it. And then we're going to move into we'll have everyone share. We'll have everyone type in what they think the answer is. And then I'll have people over the mic to help the process of how you came to that. So here we go. Let's get started. Our very first picture that we have are some beads and some bowls. Based upon that, how many beads do you think we have? Okay, does everyone have an estimate or something that they've written down based upon what you see?
I do, and I'm thinking, what if I said 1 million? Too much.
A reasonable estimate.
I just want to say, some people might come in there and say, hey, I think there's 1 million there. So we want to be like also thinking about estimates or almost like approximates. We want to know kind of something that is close to, but not unreasonable. That's one of our math practices that we have in there. Hi, Angela.
All right. So I'm going to start revealing a clue. Hopefully, Angela, you have an estimate of how many beads there are. So just think of a number, write it down somewhere, because as I give you clues, you'll start eliminating numbers as we go through these clues. All right, our first clue. Hold on. It's the lovely one where it won't let me. There we go. Is the total number an odd or an even? Knowing that both bowls hold the same number. So I'll give you a second to think about your estimate. And then if you need to go ahead and keep your estimate or think of a new one, go ahead and change that or eliminate numbers that you know are gone, that we cannot even use. Okay, so that one's an easy one, but now here we come to another one. The answer is not a multiple of 5. So think of what numbers are eliminated, and then think of your estimate and what you might need to do. Either pick a new one or continue with the one you have.
I had to pick a new one. I always do the multiples of the nice, even, friendly numbers.
So, yep, mine, my first pick is still there. I'm okay, doing okay on that one. All right. Here we go. Is everyone okay? I don't want to move too fast on anyone because I know I'm thinking of the eliminations. All right, thank you. I thought I saw a thumbs up. All right, here we go. The next clue, the answer does not include the digit 3 or the digit 7. So there went my pick. I'd have to pick a new one.
So just to clarify, we wouldn't have anything that had a 3 or a 7 either in the tens or the ones place. Okay.
Jennifer.
I'm just making sure.
You clarifying, or is that you telling?
No, I'm just making sure that I didn't pick the wrong one because I'm still good. I've got both my digits that are not a 3 or a 7.
Because that was an aha for me last time when we go further on that. I didn't even clue into that one. I just thought ones place value and not the tens. All right, so going into clue 4, let's reveal. All right, clue 4 says the answer is one more than a multiple of 5. I'm writing more notes to myself because more things pop in my head as I've done this. All right. Has everyone either revised their estimate or come up with, all right, I see a lot of head nodding. Great. All right, clue 5, I'm going to reveal. The answer is not a multiple of 3. Oh, I saw some, oh man. So I'll give us a second since I saw a lot of mans that we might need to think of a new number.
I have to do skip counting to figure out if mine is.
You just have to add the digits, and if they're a multiplication of 3, then it is divisible by 3. So 4 plus 6 is 10, and 10 is not a multiplication of, or a multiple of 3. So you can tell that way.
Divisibility.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rules of divisibility. Okay. I think I'm good then.
All right. So this next slide, slide 6, here's what I'd like you guys to do is in one of the colors, go ahead and put in your estimate. So say my first estimate was 23, which was completely wrong, but go ahead and put in your estimate, and we're going to go ahead and go through all of our eliminations. So as you can see here, for like some of our younger kids, maybe you do have a hundreds chart out for them, and as they're going, they can highlight or put it in a sleeve and dry erase on them, so they could eliminate as they're going through instead of trying to visualize it all in their heads. We didn't do that for you guys right off the bat because you're adults, but this is an option out there. So going with this, let's talk about the clues. The first clue said, is it odd or even? How could we tell right away if it was odd or even?
It should be odd, right? Because if they're split on both sides, it doesn't matter if it's an even number or if it's an odd number, it'll still be an even number.
Okay. So if we have that either odd or even in here, it makes it even. What does this do to us? These 3 beads in the center. So it makes it, what kind of number are we going to have?
Yadira's saying odd.
Yeah. So what happens is it's going to be an odd number. We already know that. What I like to do is I'm one of those ones, since it's an odd number, it eliminates all even numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and take a second, if my computer will do this for me. And this is something that you could do with your kids too, as they're giving you ideas of what you could eliminate. On this page is because we don't want to give them any clues as we're going through, but we just eliminate all the odds. And then if I was to go into, can someone remind me what clue 2 was?
So clue number 2 was the answer is not a multiple of 5. But I'm thinking my guess is already out if it was odd. So I'm going to have my guess.
So I have like 57, 46. So we're all over on our guesses. Can someone who's willing, as we're going through with this, could someone give me their reason for their number? So anybody willing to do that? Oh, I can eliminate all 5s because it's not a multiple of 5. Did anybody want to back up their number?
So I originally, since I didn't look at the 3 in the middle, that was going to make it an odd number. I picked 46 because 45 is a multiple of 5. I added 1 more to make 46. It doesn't have a 7. It doesn't have a 5 or a 3. I don't remember what number it was. So now I'm picking 41 to be my number because that is a multiple. I mean, 1 more than a multiple of 5. It doesn't have a 7 or a 3.
Oh, okay. So what was one of the clues? Yeah, that's right. Anything that had a 7 or a 3. So I'm going to take those out.
And I'm guessing 41 is not a multiple of 3 either, since was it you that were telling us the rules of divisibility, the 4 plus 1?
It's a number, so it shouldn't.
Okay. So we had a
meets that criteria pretty well.
Not a digit of, see, this is where it messed me up. You guys saw where I took out the 3s and the 7s. When I was first doing my guesses, I forgot about these over here. And that's where I said, Jennifer, are you giving it away? Because that was my aha. When we were doing it together to get rid of those, is that was not on my radar whatsoever.
Oh, I like how you're visually doing that for us, because that makes a big difference in seeing what range or what set of numbers we're actually going to have narrowed it down to.
Okay, so we had, it was an odd, not a multiple of 5. Then we said no digit with 3 or 7 in it. And then we had 4 was 1 more than a multiple of 5. What else could we eliminate on that clue?
All the numbers that end in 9.
Yeah, because that's not 1 more.
1 more, that's less.
Yep, so we can eliminate that. So that's leaving us with all of these in this row with the 1s, except for the ones I've already taken out. Did this last clue help eliminate some more? The answer is not a multiple of 3.
Yes. 81, 51, 21.
Thank you. All right, so what is that? Now looking at, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do that, and 21. I wish I could go around it. So that leaves us with, really fast before I move on, did that leave us with all of these? 1, 11, 41, 61, or 91? Was there any other we could eliminate?
I think we can eliminate one safely because there's more than one.
91 for sure.
What about 11? Do we think that we can eliminate 11? Yeah, I've seen a couple of you not. I think we can eliminate 11. All right, can we eliminate 41, 61, or 91?
91.
91 is too high. That's probably way too high. That's too big of an estimate. So we are left with 41 and 61. Anybody have any guesses what they think it might be?
41.
41? Does anybody think it will be 61? I see a few eyebrows going, maybe. Okay.
I have to see how many beads.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
beads. So if I go to the next one, I'm again looking at, these are the large beads. So let's look at this answer. Hopefully, did everyone have a new estimate on their paper? 41 or 61? Did you guys have it? Okay. All right, now I'm revealing it. Wow, yep, that was a surprise. I thought it was 41. After I'd done all that, I was like, 61 seems like too many. So here's your bonus question. How many beads are in each bowl?
You want the answer in the chat?
Sure, put the answer in the chat. That sounds like a plan. And I did this and I had it on a piece of paper and now I've lost my paper.
I don't know how else to do it on there. I'm trying to explain where I got that, but let's see.
Okay. All right, everyone had a chance to try it out to see what they got? Here we go. We had 29 beads. All right, so we originally put this PowerPoint together asking about hybrid because at the time, hybrid was really going to happen. Is any of you guys know if you're going back in hybrid? Nope. Nope. Okay, well then that's, so thinking about that is we probably have a lot of, we'll probably be keeping things remote. This was an example of how you could do this activity remote. Thinking about your number sense activities that you did, is there ways that you could do that remote as well? Games, like I said games, and I took it and put it on a PowerPoint slide, and I had where the kids had each of their own slides and then sent them off into groups, and they were allowed to play with the one slide and move things around with that game. But sometimes we don't all have that opportunity. Is there other ideas or number sense routines that maybe we could make them in a remote setting where the kids could get into it and play around with it like they did, you sort of did today?
Well, I can say that I've been using these Esti mysteries with my math recovery kiddo. It's been kind of fun to work with well, even I think you could work it in an intervention group and be doing it with kiddos other than whole group.
Yeah, I've been using a lot of jam boards, to be honest, with the kids because they're able to get in and move stuff around on the jam boards. So be thinking about that. If you have anything that you're wanting or any ideas that you have and you're like, I can't quite figure out how to make it remote or how to work with it in our kiddos, please feel free to send us the idea and we can play around with it and send it back to you to see if that might work as a remote or I'm going to say hybrid because I don't know if at the beginning of the year we might do hybrid also. So who knows? I'm hoping not, but who knows? So be thinking about that and be thinking about number sense routines and how we can continue that with our kiddos.
All right, so before we go into the make and take, we want to kind of get your feel for what was something that you could take away from this session, other than the things you're going to take away here in just a moment. But what was something that you could take away from this idea of doing number sense routines virtually. Even just the idea of where it is good for kids or where it could be good for that practice element. Remote doesn't mean boring. Yay!
Go math. I love math.
Yeah, before we had to come in here, I was texting someone because we were talking about getting into our live session, and I said, into my number sense love session. And I'm like, yes, because I love number sense. They thought, I was like, I just was a typo, but they totally got like love number sense. So yeah, so I think that worked.
We're such dorks. We know it.
Any other thoughts?
I think being mindful of it. I think that so often we just get stuck in our routines, and I know I do, and I feel like I just need to be mindful of it more, because I just get, like I said, just like, okay, let's get the lesson done. Okay, who has questions? Okay, we move on, and so this is really opening my eyes to really, okay, I really need just to be mindful of it. I guess I can't think of another word or how else to describe it, but because I even had a student tell me the other day, this is so boring. Do you think you could jazz it up? Okay. Thank you. I didn't get offended. I thought, okay, well, she's right. I need to jazz it up. So that's my plan, to jazz it up.
I like that. Yeah, definitely the engagement piece is key. And also, making math more than just about like a number sentence or something, where there's not a lot of discourse or talk and you're just watching somebody else do it. Having the kids share out about it, it does make it, more meaningful for them, because they're listening to what their peers are saying. And these are quick. They're not like, super long. They don't take very long to do. So I always like that about it as well. So, and then also, yes, Skylar, yeah, it's good to experiment with different methods of math instruction, because not everybody does it the same way. And I teach my kids that with a problem, not everybody's going to solve a problem in the same way in life, let alone in math. So it's good to hear those different varieties. So we're down on slide 10, and Tammy's got it posted up there. So as you can see, in the month of February, we're just about done with our number sense routines for this month. We have one more tomorrow at 8 a.m. If you want to join us. Meet code's going to be the same meet code, and we'll try to plop it into those collaboration chats prior to you guys joining us. But it's tomorrow at 8 a.m. and it's going to be on 3-act tasks. But we have a whole new series coming in March. Dun, dun, dun. And those are going to be those proposed dates. Same Google Meet, same channel, same everything. All right. I know this is what you're waiting for. We're on to the make and take. Tammy's demonstrating how you get into that make and take. You just hover over that underlined make and take. You're going to click into the folder. And voila, you have tons and tons of resources. Let me explain first what a couple of those resources are, because we always label them with a 1 or a 2. The 1 is usually almost always your directions. So in this case, it's tips for how to use these Esti mysteries inside your class. 2 is always your template. So that template that you got there, all that you have to do with some of the slide decks that you're going to get are just plop those right into those slide decks, and you can go ahead and use them. But it doesn't necessarily have to be on a Google slide. As Tammy was mentioning, maybe you do this on a Jamboard so that the kids can participate and actually be writing their numbers down, or maybe you have that hundreds chart that's on there. So inside the resources, we have categorized them based on, I think it's kinder through second, first through third, and third through fifth, which I don't know, she had gone there and then come back. I do want to make a mention really quick that on one of them, and I think she has it up there, some of them in there have additional instructions at the very bottom of the first slide. And this is really good in terms of what kind of supports do you want to offer the kids? So it could be you're not giving them a support with like not having a hundreds chart in them. Some slides will have a hundreds chart in there, but the kids are filling them in. And the third option, the slides will actually have the hundreds chart in there, and it's filling in as they're going through each of the clue. So there's lots of different options and lots of different orientations for you to be able to do them. You've got tons of different grade levels to do. And these are good for just about any day or every day of the week. So whatever you guys feel to do, you have all those resources already ready for you. They're adaptable, they're ready to use, and they're awesome. So any questions on those? All right.
Thank you everyone so much for coming. And that's all, but hopefully you'll keep that link because that's where some great resources are for you.
And we'll stay on for just a few moments in case